The difference is Peyton's going to take what they give him. If they move, and what they're going to do is move Reggie Wayne into the slot on the weak side. You got Dallas Clark in the slot on the start. Now you got those safeties in the bind, and Jaws makes a good point. Now, not that the Bears' corners are the greatest, but they're better than the safety. So when you get the safeties in the coverage, you got problems. That's why Wayne is going to come up big.
Don't you believe, if there is a script for this game, and the Bears, of course, are trying to disrupt it, the Peyton Manning script for this game, shouldn't it be Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison? I mean, they've hooked up for more touchdowns than anybody. It should be, although thus far in the playoffs, as we said, Dan Klecko won, Marvin Harrison nothing. But the other side, he's going to the Pro Bowl this year. But, I mean, that's just Reggie Wayne's story. Going to Pro Bowl, that's just a little part of it, Tom.
Yeah, we find stories much more important than who wins and who loses. And I think when you think about faith and family in football, you know, the first team for me that comes to mind is the Colts. You know, and I think a lot of times it's because of Coach Dungy and the way he's handled certain situations in his life, the tragedy from last year, his faith in God and his faith in his family. And then by extension, the Mannings, Peyton and Eli, and their dad, Archie. But there is another story with the Colts, not as well known, but certainly no less significant. And that is the story of Reggie Wayne and his brother Rashad.
My birthday is November 17th, his is the 18th. You know, so it's quite a few times growing up we shared the same birthday cake. You know, so we was always around each other.
Family matters on the football field, but it can never take the place of the kinship that exists between brothers. Brothers like Reggie Wayne and his older brother Rashad.
He would send me messages at halftime, you know. Yeah, if I was just to look at my phone at halftime, I'd have about 4 messages on there from him telling me, you know, protect the ball, you know, don't go down with your head or whatever the case may be.
But on Sunday, September 24th, 2006, with Reggie and the Colts facing Jacksonville, those messages never came. Earlier that morning, Rashad Wayne was driving on Interstate 10 outside New Orleans when he lost control of his delivery truck and crashed into a concrete barrier. Rashad was pronounced dead at the scene. Back in Indianapolis, Reggie got the news on his way home from the game.
Couldn't stop crying. I probably was driving 15 miles per hour on the interstate, you know, just trying to get myself together and just figure out what I'm going to tell my mom at the same time.
Reggie's mother, who had been at the game in Indianapolis, was waiting at his home.
He told me, Mama, come inside in the den and I want to talk to you. I got something to tell you. And then he told me, Mama, Rashad was killed in a truck accident. And that blew me away. That really blew me away.
That night, Reggie and his mother flew to Louisiana to mourn with their family. Later that week, Reggie returned to Indianapolis and met with Tony Dungy, who had dealt with the loss of his son the previous year.
I just told him that he's never, ever going to forget it. It's never going to be a time where the pain is going to go away. But he's got to focus on the good times that he had with Rashad and focus on what Rashad would want him to do in the future.
You know, just hearing what he had to say, you know, and all that, you need all that, you know, because you may think that you're all right, you know, but deep down inside, you know, your heart's just ripped apart.
With a game looming against the Jets that Sunday, Reggie had a decision to make.
His dad and I sit down and talked, and then we talk with Reggie because we know that Rashad would want him to be on that field that Sunday.
I actually didn't want to play, but, you know, she insisted that I go on and play because that's what he would want. Then I actually thought about it and, you know, and prayed about it, and I can just hear him say the same thing.
One week after Rashad's death, Reggie caught 4 passes in a win over the Jets. 2 days later, Rashad's funeral services were held in Louisiana, and many of Reggie's teammates were in attendance.
that's who we are as a team. When one hurts, we all hurt. And everyone wanted to go. We couldn't get everybody there, but we took a group of the leaders and just to show our support that, hey, we hurt with you.
At that point in time, you're at your lowest point, you know, but when you get those guys who you see every day, who you ball with every day, you know, and they come up to you and tell you those things, that kind of lifts you up a little bit.
How often do you think about him now?
Every day. You know, I talk to him, you know, all the time. It's kind of funny because I can hear him, you know, answer back. I still have his cell phone number in my phone, you know, and I go down the R's and I see his name in my phone, you know, it's kind of eats me up that I just can't, you know, press dial and he answers.
Family forever. It is inscribed on Rashad Wayne's memorial. It is a motto that reminds Reggie Wayne what a Super Bowl win would mean.
For this to come to life, you know, at the Coast of the Champions, that'll be huge, man. You probably, I probably need a whole Kleenex box, man, to keep my tears from falling on the ground.
I said that this is a story of faith, family, and football. Well, the faith part is that once Rashad died, Reggie started to keep a picture of him in his locker in Indy. He brought that picture with him to Miami and put it in his locker here. But he said when they were down 21-3 to the Patriots in the championship game, he actually said a little prayer to Rashad to help him get over the hump, to help them be what they could be. I have the feeling that he may be asking for one more little prayer from his brother as they get ready to suit up in about 4 or 5 hours.
Thank you, Tom. Reggie Wayne standing awfully tall this season.
Good
Another
stuff.
way to watch the Super Bowl. Keep it in mind.